Hey everybody, Wannaweism here. It is Friday, December 19th, 3:57 a.m. I am living the dream, basically, literally and figuratively. That said, funny little deal, I'm on the title screen. I always like to check the messages just in case they've updated this one. Bet you're wondering what all those mystery elements are, huh? Well, let's just say we won't keep you in the dark much longer. Especially not when I've got a nightlight, literally. That's what we're going to do here. The portal is empty right now, so I'll have to actually throw him on. What I plan to do in this video is just my standard introduction. We'll take a look at him in the game, see his attack damage, take a look at, I'll read you the backstory. And then we're also, kind of as a bonus to cover the expansion pack, I'm curious to see, I know the literature refers to the trap as the Lighthawk trap. We're going to see what that's officially called in the trap register. We'll see how it impacts our, Skylander count, if it makes new things appear, and then we're going to throw the Sunscraper Spire on and see kind of if that's located somewhere. So, we'll accept that, and we're heading in. I think I have to throw someone on, and since I want to check Skylander counts, it won't be Nightlight. Who will it be? That is the question. Let's go Lobstar, because he's honestly the closest to the... Well, he was the closest to my hand to the...
Right! Star fight!
Alright, so there's Chaos. He's about to get shocked, literally. Look at that, we'll poke him in the butt right there. Anyway, we're going to come in here, and I want to take a look at our collections. So, Skylanders, we're going to click that. Pay attention here. We've got the 8 elements on the right hand side. We've got all, and then we've got magic items. So there's a total of 10 slots right now. 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. We're going to take a look at the traps. Pay attention to this arrangement. We've basically got 3, 4, and then 3. So, actually, the way it works, basically, top, middle, that's the total number of traps we've put in the game. We've got, the Chaos trap here, and then all of our elements. So, there's a total of 7, 10, 13 slots right now. So, I'm going to back out of there. Gonna back out of here, and here comes the moment you've been waiting for. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to throw Nightlight, brand new light element trap master, onto the portal. Let's see what greatness ensues.
See the light.
Yeah, he looks pretty awesome. That's pretty shit. Okay, no fanfare there. Pretty high health. Let's see if Chaos freaks. That's the first thing we'll do.
It's so boring here! How can anyone live in such an absolutely disgustingly unevil place?
Okay, well, I don't know. Alright, that's what he looks like. Let's get the basic generic stuff done. Collections. We'll do this one first. Oh, wow, look at that. He made light and dark appear. So, Dark Skylander 0. Now, something that bothers me, I didn't cover this in the unboxing because I felt obligated to go in like a 5-minute rant on scalpers and why not to pay their prices, etc. Something I was curious about, what about Dark Spyro? What about Dark Snapshot? What about all of our previous Dark characters, from the past 2 Dark Edition starter packs? Do they now... is that the same dark, or is it a different dark? Is there going to be a dark element of this starter pack and a light element starter pack in the future? I don't know. So many questions and no real answers. Let's click this. Okay, so here we go. Nightmare, Trapmaster Skylander. Again, she is a female. Blackout. This confirms what I thought. I saw no Traptanium, like huge Traptanium. I mean, he theoretically could have had some on him. Just a core Skylander, so that's very cool. I don't hack the game. I don't, cheat the game through, glitches and teleports and whatnot. I just take things as they come because it's more exciting to me. So that's why I did know about, the light and the dark, and everything, but I avoid details as much as possible because I like to find it out myself. So, we're correct. We have female Trapmaster, male core Skylander, who looks a lot like a Vathic Flashwing. kind of. Backing out of there to the light Skylanders, very bright. Look at the contrast there between the two. Alright, we're going to click this. And we've got a check mark. That's not Spotlight, that's Nightlight. What? Oh, okay, thank goodness. I don't know how that happened. I was like, what's the deal here? I was just looking at the title. Anyway, so I was going to say that is an epic issue right there. Nightlight, Trapmaster Skylander, he's of course male. And then Spotlight, who looks to be a predecessor of Flashwing, I guess in the chronology. Maybe a descendant, who knows, but looks like Flashwing to me. Kind of like a Mega Evolution type thing. So Spotlight is our new core Skylander. She's going to be a female. So nice mix right there. As you can see, 10 elements now. Life, air, water, magic, tech, earth, fire, undead, dark, and light. Interesting that dark went above light. That's kind of somewhat peculiar. That's it. Let's go. You know what? I guess we'll go back to the menu here. I'm going to go ahead while we're here, before we get into like cool stuff with Nightlight. And I do have to say, this Light Hawk trap, it does look awesome. So we're going to go, it's almost like soap. If you have like, you know, the dial soap with like the glittery stuff in it ever. I don't know if they still make that, but you kind of get the idea. I don't know what Chaos is doing. I guess he's like walking in place or something. But I'm going to put the light trap in. We'll see how it registers. Collected light trap. Alright, so let's come in here, and this is the big question now. What will it be called, and what will it do to this structure? Okay, I like this pyramid concept a lot better, and it added the light as well, so note it's like yin and yang. It's perfectly balanced now. So this is much more aesthetically appealing to me. I hated navigating that like triage of symbolism there, you know. Oh my goodness, they're going to unleash the fury upon us. Okay, here we go. So, what was referred to as the Dark Spider Trap is now apparently the Shadow Spider, official name in the game. So, Spider Sculpt, I can assume, is correct, and then Shadow Spider is the official name. And then we've got the Dark Dagger. That'll be a sword trap. I've yet to see a sword anywhere. And then Ghastly Grimace will be that trap. So we will have extra traps apparently available. I don't know if the spider is going to be exclusive to the expansion pack or available singles. I don't know if like the other traps will be like, maybe it's a dedicated Dark 3 pack. Maybe they're available single and there's no issue. I don't know. At this point in time, I truly just don't know. But if you get this, you can just cycle through the enemies in the villain vault, I suppose. So one more time. Shadow Spider, Dark Dagger, and Ghastly Grimace. There we go. Now, light traps, which is actually what we put on. Alright. I hate how it, like, that throws me off. Anyway, Heavenly Hawk. So the Light Hawk is the Heavenly Hawk. I like that name. It's pretty cool. The Rocket Sculpt is, like, very, very rare. So it's called the Shining Ship. That's an interesting name. And then we've got the Beam Scream. So, I've seen some people call that Scream. I've seen some people call it Yawn. I don't know. I've asked for official sculpt names. I've never gotten anything back. I know a few. I don't know them all. All I can tell you is the official trap name is Beam Scream, Shining Ship, and Heavenly Hawk, which is what we've got here. So, same thing. If you have to trap some of the other villains, you know, outside of Luminous, go ahead and do that, and then you can cycle through them with just this one trap and, you know, save a little cash if you're so inclined. That said, I do like this pyramid structure. That's probably all we're going to see. We'll back out of there. We'll back out of here, and it's time to go see what he does now. Nice little jump element there. You get a good look front and back. The wing, note that the left kind of has like a red shimmer, and then the one on the right kind of has a green shimmer. I don't know if that's the way it's catching light or what, but that's kind of cool. That's sort of what a pearlescent would do. And then in the middle, note kind of like the pinkish purple. So that's pretty interesting. Whoops. He is not very fast, sadly. Let's beam over to this direction. Alright, before we hop in there, there's the Trap Master logo. You can kind of see it sometimes. It's really hard for me to position him. Anyway, let's come in here.
My future is looking bright.
Okay, I would agree. Stats. Alright, I gotta get off my knees. I was on my knees that entire time. That's how exciting this is. Ow. That's why I like to sit in a chair, then end up stand up and run into stuff. Okay, and I sit in like this antique chair, and that's what the creaking was. So, Nightlight in my spreadsheet. His health 430. That's pretty formidable. Just scrolling up, the highest I see is 390 from Dark Snapshot. Armor 12. That's a bit disappointing. Speed 70. You know, I don't know about that. Critical hit 70. I'll hope that's good. Elemental power 25. So, not like ginormous. You know, I mean, he's not like somebody you go. He's not like an elite in this game. You don't go out and buy him and just like plow through everything. It doesn't look like so.
A cut above all others.
Alright, let's take a look now at the powers, which I have no idea what these are. They're not in a strategy guide. You know, they're nowhere that I can go. They're supposed to update the strategy guide. Actually, sadly, it's like digital form, and I guess then you could print it if you want. But let's check it out. Traptanium. I don't know, is that scimitar? I'm not sure. Press X to swing the Traptanium Scimitar, or whatever that word is. Press XX, hold X for a combo attack. So that's cool. Prismatic Pounce. That looks like an interesting attack. Press B for a... I really wish I knew what that word was. Scimitar slash attack and create a light aura where saber attacks do more damage. So I know what a saber is. So we got that going for us. Now, those are your two base upgrades. Now, your next four, assuming he follows the ordinary suit, would be base upgrades. Hallowed Ground. Enemies and light auras move slower and do reduced damage. That's pretty sweet. Light Up. Hold Y to create a circle of light. Release to levitate and damage anything near the circle. That's pretty cool sounding. Lasting Light. Light auras last longer. That should be useful. And then Sharper Scimitar. Traptanium Scimitar does more damage. Can we just call that like a sword, you know, and be done with it? Path names. I have no freaking clue. I have absolutely no way of knowing that at this point in time. Whatever path this is, Sending Strike. Traptanium Scimitar knocks enemies into the air. Then we've got Speed of Light. While holding Y, press B to teleport to the light up target and perform an upward strike. That'll have to be played to fully understand. Spinning Slash. Hold X to charge up the Traptanium Scimitar and release for a 360-degree attack. So that's pretty much what we could call like a primary path, you know, upgrading the scimitar thingy. Bottom path looks like we go with the secondary attack. Radiant Radius. Prismatic Pounce hits a larger area, and light auras are larger as well. Illumination Detonation. Light auras explode before disappearing, damaging anything nearby. That should be helpful. And Flash Dash. Press BB for a more powerful prismatic pounce. Attack and be invulnerable while flickering. Now, Soul Gem, it is called Brilliant Blade. Traptanium Scimitar is upgraded to its ultimate form and does maximum damage. Those are the adjectives that so greatly annoyed me. I went to the great lengths of documenting all attack damage. Just so I know, because it bothers me not knowing things. So, we're going to back out of here, and actually let's recap. Traptanium, whatever. X to swing, XXX combo, so that's old school throwback. And then press B for a scimitar slash attack and create a light aura where saber attacks do more damage. Okay, so X, primary attack, 40. Let's try our combo. Woohoo, 192, that was a critical one though. 128. So, do I want to go ahead and just open up that spreadsheet as well? I think I do. I live life on the edge. It's 4:12 in the morning, and we're documenting attack damage. So, let's go home. You know, go big or go home, right? Where is that spreadsheet? Trap team attack damage. Here we go. Got to go down. I've got so many entries in this thing. Okay, so we're gonna put 40. Should be 60. And then what was it? 128 to 192. I think. I'd really like to see the crit on this just first primary. Combo is a lot more powerful than you'd think it would be, though. So we got that going for us. Now let's just go ahead and take a look at the secondary one. Ooh, I like that. So I'll do the upgrade video where we like detail everything. 1 Mississippi 2 Mississippi 2. About 6-second runtime on that.
A guiding light.
Same thing there. Let's do 2 now. Looks like you can have 2 active. Or maybe you like just time out. Yeah, the minute I make a third, the other one basically disappears. So now the thing is, though, when we do this attack, which is 77, runs for 6 seconds. It should have a critical number there of an odd sort. But what I want to showcase, though, is when we do that, then we can attack. Wow, 80, 80, 80. Let me try. I wish this was like a more open area, you know. Alright, so let's try to combo this. Dang, nation. 115. Okay, so 77 to 115. 6 seconds. And then sword going to 80. Let's try to get a critical. 252 on the critical side of the combo. That is awesome. Okay.
Illuminating.
Okay. To 252 combo. So, what do we learn today, or this morning, or tonight, or afternoon for Australian people? He is a pretty powerful little dude with just his box stock attacks. I actually really like the secondary attack. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not huge on rainbows or anything, but I mean, you know, at least not after rain. Or I should say I like them after rain. I just think that's a cool attack, and then the fact that it like basically doubles the damage is just that much cooler. Now he's pretty slow though. This is when I've really been missing heroics as of late. But that said, that is Nightlight. We've taken a look at the Lighthawk trap. One more thing to go here. I'm gonna make sure the recording is not like freaking out on me. I have no idea what this is gonna do. It's probably gonna involve some cutscene. And I'm not going to go to the level, I just want to know like if it's placed somewhere. Wait, wrong thing. My bad.
See the light.
Okay, I'm back over here, crouched down. I'm not on my knees, I'm in a full-on behind home crouch type thing. So, here we go. We've got the mirror. Oh my gosh. There's Nightmare Express. There's the Mirror of Mystery. Now, what'll be interesting is when I play Sunscraper Spire, if like to balance things, it just automatically just throws the Midnight Museum. Maybe we couldn't go to it, but it shows on the pedestal. I don't know. That's what they've done so far with it. But in my hand is the Sunscraper Spire. I also need to take pictures of this, but I'm going to throw it down. Ooh, it lights up nicely. It's only from the base, but it looks pretty cool. It's light core.
Greetings, Portal Master. Something amazing has happened. The same colossal explosion that destroyed Cloudcracker Prison also fractured the very foundation of Skylanders, exposing 2 new elements. One was pure light, and the other, utter darkness. Now, a mysterious crystalline tower has appeared, crackling with the tremendous energy of elemental light. You must go immediately and investigate Sunscraper Spire.
Okay, Sunscraper Spire, that was a really cool cutscene there. You can go to this level using the chapter select menu. Do you want to leave the current adventure and travel there? No. You're gonna make your way. Okay, so it goes over there. Sunscraper Spire, we can assume Midnight Museum will go over here. No, it'll go right there. So that'll be interesting. So those kind of take the place there. We've got like our traditional SSA 4 adventure packs. I guess they went with expansion pack instead of adventure pack because of like the additional elements, you know, type thing going on. So that said, this is Nightlight. We've covered the trap, the Heavenly Hawk. We've covered his stats, everything like that. I'm going to leave you with something most people won't, which is the background story. I've covered this in a standalone video in his unboxing, but I'll do it again. Nightlight, Light Element Trap Master. His slogan, See the Light. Before the destruction of the Core of Light left him stranded in the Light Realm, Nightlight was the protector of the Starlight, the source of light, wisdom, and vast energy in Radiant City. But an evil villain known as Luminous wanted the Starlight for himself. Without warning, Luminous attacked and took two of these skies in an epic battle which lasted several days. In the end, Nightlight stood victorious and Luminous was imprisoned within Sunscraper Spire so that he could no longer pose a threat to Skylands. Now, with his Traptanium blade, Nightlight fights alongside the Trap team to keep evil at bay. And you may now sleep peacefully. That said, pretty cool stuff here. That looks like a pretty interesting level. It lights up quite nicely on the portal. I'll come in at some point in time and we'll see like what these structures might do, you know, like magic item effect, I guess. I'm debating about doing it right now, but I've kind of got the computer maxed at this point, so I don't want to. But we'll check it out soon. I promise I'll let you know what happens. Hopefully this covers everything you need to know about it at this point. Might upgrade this guy. I hate not knowing the path name. That really bothers me. I need to see if that little update to the strat guide is live or not. But I'd love to know that. If I find that out, I may upgrade him and then we may play the level. I don't know for sure. Midnight Museum is coming up next. Be sure to check that out. If you have not subscribed, do it. If you're subscribed, you know about these things. If you're not, you miss out on the excessive detail that only I seem to provide. That said, you can follow me on Twitch where I'll continue live streaming this game. I was really wanting to get a Magic Trap Master before I progressed. It bothers me finding things and not being able to complete them, you know. But hopefully that comes soon. Get Blastermind in my little large hands, I guess, actually, and we can get back to work on that. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching. We're going to be back. We will check out the Dark Spider Trap, we will check out Midnight Museum, and of course we will take a look at Nightmare. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in just a few seconds.